Tonight's meeting of the Metropolitan, Nashville, and Davidson County Council is coming to you live from the council chambers at the historic Metro Courthouse. It's a public affairs presentation of the Metro Nashville Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Nolan, your announcer for this program. Tonight, the 15th Metropolitan Council holds its 52nd business meeting of a four-year term. This is the 22nd council meeting of 2021. Tonight's council agenda is 39 pages long, involves 97 pieces of legislation. That includes 28 resolutions, 10 first reading bills, 13 second reading pieces of legislation, and 44 ordinances on third and final reading. On the agenda are a number of appointments and reappointments to various city boards and commissions. They are lower than in recent weeks. The council's been working through a backlog with some of the appointments falling from Mayor John Cooper to Vice Mayor Jim Shulman to make. Tonight there are only 6 appointments or reappointments to consider. That number has been 17 at each of the last 2 council meetings. With the number and spread of COVID infections now rising a bit, there is still a new state law that has stripped the Metro Health Department of the power to continue a mask mandate in city-owned buildings. Therefore, tonight, no one will be required to wear a mask covering here at the face covering here at the council meeting. It is recommended, but not required, so it'll be optional. The council will again consider Resolution 2021-1204. It would appropriate $1.9 million in federal American Rescue funds to Metro Parks to manage the homeless encampment in town, including specifically the renovation and repair of Brookmead Park. That encampment has been creating quite a bit of controversy in West Nashville. The council deferred the bill 2 weeks ago because some of the money will be spent for surveillance cameras, fencing, and a bulldozer, which concerns some council members. The situation became even more inflamed when Mayor John Cooper's office set up guided tours for the council to go through the various homeless camps in town, move that some council members took offense to and said they did not request it and would not participate in it. There are amendments on the council pending tonight to remove the spending the council members don't like, such as for the cameras, the bulldozers, even the entire $800,000 plus for Brookmead Park. That bill is the first resolution on the agenda. We do understand it may be deferred tonight as well for more study. COVID-19 is not gone. Under Resolution 2021-1233, the council would accept a $50,000 grant from the state to help the Davidson County Juvenile Court purchase protective equipment to minimize exposure and hazards in the workplace. Under RS 2021-1240, the council will again accept nearly $14 million and a grant from the U.S. Department of Treasury for the Metro Action Commission to continue to provide emergency rental assistance under the American Rescue Act. Since 1985, Metro's had a long-standing yearly auto emissions test required for driver's cars. That may be repealed by the council tonight. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency says the state and Nashville now meet clean air standards, and all the counties in the states that have similar tests are dropping them. Previous Metro Council in 2018 declined to do that, but under Resolution RS 2021-1251 with 23 co-sponsors, the program would end. There's some irony in doing that. Back in the 1980s, EPA had threatened the city with the loss of all its federal funds to get the council to begin the inspection program. The resolution will be amended, we understand, tonight potentially to end the inspection program, which is done through an outside vendor by January 14th. There are conflicting reports out of committees about whether this should be deferred, so we'll see what happens when it comes out to the council floor. Concerning another environmentally related issue, under Memorializing Resolution RS 2021-1252, the council will ask the city's Water Services Department to promote and better incentivize recycling with the goal of increasing recycling in Nashville by 25% within the next 2 years. Under Resolution RS 2021-1235, the council would approve a joint national settlement resolving years of litigation regarding the opioid epidemic. This settlement with the 3 largest pharmaceutical distributors in the nation, AmerisourceBergen Corporation, Cardinal Health, Inc., and McKesson Corporation, as well as the manufacturer Janssen Pharmaceuticals and its parent company, Johnson & Johnson. If the settlement is adopted by the states and cities nationwide, which is still ongoing, distributors will pay a maximum of $21 billion over 18 years, and J&J will pay a maximum of $5 billion over 9 years. Tennessee could be eligible to receive more than $613 million over 18 years. The vast majority of the funds will be dedicated to future opioid abatement and remediation programs benefiting all regions of the state. Additionally, up to $92 million will be paid directly to Tennessee counties and cities. The funds could begin to flow as soon as April of 2022. There's also concern about a resolution before the council tonight, RS 2021-1237, that would approve a partnership with the state to build a new north-south boulevard on the east bank between Spring and Woodland Streets. But the council members have not seen the details about this new road. $50 million commitment in the mayor's amending capital spending plan is also involved, although some say they can't find the funds for that in the plan, which is being considered by the council in its December 7th meeting. Look for some discussion about that and whether the council will decide to consider the resolution tonight. Council will also consider memorializing resolutions on the 100th anniversary of the Fairfield 4, on the legacy of the McCrary sisters. Council will also seek to bring awareness to human trafficking in Tennessee and encourage the hospitality industry in Nashville to post signage and attend workshops concerning human trafficking. Other resolutions will mark November 20th as Transgender Day and Remembrance in Nashville, and December 1st as World AIDS Day. Council will also recognize the Clara Mohammed School of Nashville on its 50th anniversary. There's also supposed to be a late resolution tonight to receive $1 million grant from Amazon to help the city's transportation department implement a transit-oriented development plan to help produce compact, higher-density, mixed-use developments within walking distance of a transit facility. However, that bill needs further amendments to be made to it, so it's probably going to wait to be introduced at the next meeting. Among the 10 first reading bills expected to be approved in one motion tonight are 2 that seek to further address the regulation of entertainment transportation vehicles. One bill would limit where these vehicles can operate in a defined area downtown only. The other bill would set up a permit system to serve or bring your own beer on these vehicles. A law passed a few weeks ago by the council banned any alcohol on any unenclosed tourist vehicle beginning on December 1st. Owners of these entertainment vehicles already claim they are losing business. The new bill seeks to address that issue, although final approval by the council, because it's an ordinance, likely won't come until about the middle of next month. So there will be some kind of dry period, at least for a few weeks, for these vehicles. Now, the first reading bill tonight seeks to name the Courthouse steps and plaza in honor of Nashville civil rights icon Diane Nash. Supporters want to name the entire park in front of the courthouse for Nash, but the Metropolitan Parks Board declined to do that because it has a long-standing policy not to name parks after living persons. Council members feel it's important to honor Nash while she's still living. They believe the courthouse steps and plaza are an appropriate place to do that because in the early 1960s, this is where Nash got Mayor Ben West to admit that it was wrong to segregate downtown lunch counters. Shortly after that, those counters slowly began to serve people of all color, ending months of student-led lunch counter sit-ins downtown. On second reading tonight, there are bills to create a new freestanding city department to coordinate city's various efforts to address homelessness and affordable housing, now scattered over several boards and commissions. A substitute bill has already been drafted, so it's going to be deferred tonight for further study. The bill would also allocate the funds raised from the city's sale of delinquent properties to the city's barn fund for affordable housing. So another ordinance would seek to take the funds and efforts to seek to fund efforts to protect and grow the city's tree canopy, which remains under pressure as Nashville continues its growth. Finally, on third reading, the council will likely approve, despite objections from the Planning Commission, BL 2021-784. It would expand the area to the Highland Heights neighborhood, where detached accessory dwelling units or DADUs can be zoned. Approval will take a 2/3 or 27 yes votes tonight. Council will also likely approve BL 2021-963, fix an access problem, the downtown Greenway, which has kept it closed, the Greenway closed because it ran through the middle of the Nashville Sounds ballpark. If you want to follow the council meeting as it progresses, you can find the agenda and staff analysis online. Just go to the Metro Council portion of the Nashville.gov website, then the Legislative Information Center. We'll also be placing the bill numbers on the screen when they come up tonight for consideration, so you can follow along and keep up with where we are on the meeting agenda. Let's go now to Vice Mayor Jim Shulman. He's about to gavel tonight's council meeting to order shortly.
welcome you to the Metro Council. Today is Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, our last full meeting before Thanksgiving. Will all members of the council as well as the public please rise for the invocation, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation this evening will be offered by Pastor Sabrina Jones of the First Church of the Nazarene, a guest of Councilmember Brett Withers.
It is an honor to stand before you and compel you to pause with me for a moment before you conduct your work tonight so that we all recognize with a sense of unity that there is a Creator God who has brought us to this place and this very moment with a compulsion to put our hands to a particular work together, which we endeavor to lift ourselves above our petty disagreements so we build a community in a manner that permits us all to live with the freedom to engage our inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Will you bow your heads with me together as we seek God's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Dear Lord, we are a simple people who simply need your grace. Where we have wronged another, show us how to provide restitution. Where we have been wronged, help us to forgive our offender. Teach us to live with humility among our neighbors and to pursue peace with one another. Now, Father, we are a room filled with leaders who need your wisdom. We need your knowledge and your gracious understanding. So we ask you to impart these things to us as we lead in this great city of Nashville. And we ask these things in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands,
Nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Without objection, we will suspend the calling the roll and ask the clerk to record the names of those members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for adoption of the minutes of the meeting from November 2nd, 2021? I've got a motion properly seconded. Without objection, the minutes of the meeting will stand approved as written. Madam Clerk, any messages from the mayor?
No, Vice Mayor. There are no messages from the mayor.
All right, thank you. Sorry. We have lost a number of individuals over the last 2 weeks whose lives impacted our city greatly. One is Eddie Bryan. Many of you may have known Mr. Bryan. He's longtime Tennessee AFL-CIO Secretary-Treasurer. He passed away this week. Kay Simmons. Kay Simmons, a former member of the Metro Nashville School Board, District 9. And Alice Chapman, who was the managing partner at McNeely, Piggott & Fox Strategic Communications and was heavily involved in a number of things going on within this city. Tonight we remember them and their families with our thoughts and prayers. We do have some exciting news. You will notice that Councilmember Hurt is not here tonight. She is helping with her daughter, who is currently in labor. We wish them all the best tonight. This is her first grandchild, but she did remind me that a second is due at the end of this month. Not the same daughter, different daughters. Just letting you know. Okay. I was also informed that Councilmember Hurt was sworn in as president of NBC Leo last Friday. That is a very, very big deal. So that is the first time a Nashvillian or a Tennessean has ever held that position. There is a summer conference coming up with NBC Leo this coming summer in Nashville, July 22nd through the 25th. We will have more information, but the fact that we have a council member that is president of a national organization is a big deal and very important. Yesterday was Maria Calder's birthday. Maria's sitting over here. I just want to make sure that you all give her a hard time. And one last item. Our next meeting will be December the 7th. We have 5 Tuesdays in November. Typically that first week in December, we have different things going on around the courthouse. the lighting of the menorah and also the lighting of the Christmas tree. We are still getting details on exactly whether they're going to go virtual, where they are, who can come, that type of thing. We will get that information to you as soon as possible. I think Ms. Hayes in our office is working on that information. Just be on the lookout for that information. It should be coming pretty soon. We are now ready to proceed with elections and confirmations, and I see Councilmember Pulley. Are you handling this one, or is Councilmember Johnston? Councilmember Pulley has got this one. You are recognized.
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor, we considered several appointments for the Equalization Board, the Historical Commission Board, and the Metro Housing Trust Board and the Stormwater Management Committee Board. We did have one appointee withdraw her name, and that was the Miss Alicia Hadcock for the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission. She is withdrawn. Okay. And all others were approved, 6 in favor, 0 against. That's Miss Lori Cast, Mr. Roger Farmer, Miss Melba Jackson, Miss Jane Landers, and Miss Janie Camp.
All right, so they were all approved. Councilmember Pulley, can I have a motion to approve all?
I would move that you approve all those with the exception of Miss Alicia Hadcock for their respective committees.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second to approve all those 5. Any discussion on the nominations? They're all standing up behind you. There they are. No objections to any questions? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The 5 folks who are standing up are confirmed. So let me make sure I've got everybody right. Equalization Board, Ms. Lori, is it Cast? Okay. Mr. Roger Farmer for the Equalization Board. Ms. Melba Jackson, Equalization Board. Ms. Jane Landers for the Historical Commission. And Ms. Janie Camp for Stormwater Management. So on behalf of the city, on behalf of the Metro Council, thank you for agreeing to serve in these different capacities. We very much appreciate your help. Thank you for being a part of the Metro government. And you all are welcome to stay, or you can leave now that you've been confirmed. But we're watching who's leaving, so we're going to be taking notes. All right, so the next part is the public comment period. I believe we only have one person signed up to speak. Vivian Wilhoit is the assessor of property, and she is now leaving. But we have an elected official in our midst.
Yes, I am.
So I believe we had one person sign up, Miss Nicole Williams. So Ms. Williams, if you will come up, again, I believe it was just one person tonight. Ms. Williams is a resident of District 24, and she wants to talk about legislative matters. Ms. Williams, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, council members. Last time I spoke to you all, I talked about privilege, and tonight I want to talk about priorities. And I want to center my comments on one unavoidable truth. People are dying in our city for lack of affordable housing, for lack of safe, walkable streets, dying from drug overdoses at record rates. And I know what you all do is incredibly difficult. And I know that it is infinitely easier to criticize what you do than to actually do the work. But you all signed up to do the work. And we as a city are failing, objectively failing, our most vulnerable residents. I also know that the state has severely limited your ability to regulate or mandate your way out of this, but there are colleagues in your midst who have found a way to increase the affordable housing stock in their districts. Talk to them. Our city needs you to come to the courthouse with one singular question in mind. What can I do today to prevent people from dying? I don't care if you come to council meetings in your footy pajamas, as long as you come here prepared to save lives. And to the at-large council members, I need y'all to start working together to reshape the narrative and move our city in a more positive direction. I want to see at-large brainstorming sessions with like whiteboards full of ideas for how to make Nashville a safer, more affordable, more inclusive place. I want to see you all working with the mayor's office to bring solutions to the table for our county. I want to hear a lot more yes and a lot less no but. That's a little improv joke to lighten the mood. Now, I don't mean to discount the positive things that this council body has accomplished, particularly in the midst of a global pandemic, but it is past time to shift focus back to the plagues that plagued us before COVID-19. Because they didn't go away, we just stopped paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Williams, for being here. We appreciate it. I believe that was it. We only had one person sign up for public comment. So we will move on to the next agenda. We are ready for the consent resolutions and resolutions. We have a long consent agenda. So let's go through that, and let me make sure that I get everything on here that's on the consent. Listen carefully, because there are a lot. Item number 2, RS 2021-1221 is on consent. 1232 is on consent. 1233 on consent. 1235 is on consent. 1237 is on consent. 1238 is on consent. 1240 is on consent. 1241 on consent. 1242 on consent. 1243 on consent. 1244 on consent. 1245 on consent. 1246 on consent. 1247 on consent. 1248 on consent. 1249 on consent. 1250 on consent. 1254 is on consent. 1255 on consent. 1256 on consent. And 1257 is on consent. Does anything need to be bumped off? Anything need to be bumped off? All right, so I'm going to go through the captions on these bills. Item number 2 on page 3, RS 2021-1221. It's a resolution approving an application for a multimodal access grant from the Tennessee Department of Transportation to Metro through INDOT to complete improvements along Charlotte Avenue from 28th Avenue North to 39th Avenue North to address existing pedestrian bicycle facility gaps, other safety concerns. That's by council members Taylor, Murphy, Allen, and Young. Item number 3, RS 2021-1232 by council members Parker, Allen, Welsh, and others. Resolution to approve the third amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2017-965 between Metro, acting through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission, and Affordable Housing Resources. Item number 4, RS 2021-1233 by Allen, Evans, Warren, and others. Resolution accepting a coronavirus emergency supplemental funding grant from the Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration to the Metropolitan Government through the Juvenile Court to continue to enhance the court's COVID-19 preparedness plan, purchase personal protective equipment to minimize exposure to hazards in the workplace. Item number 6, which is on page 4 of my agenda, RS 2021-1235 by Allen and Evans. Resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government to join the state of Tennessee and other local governments as participants in the Tennessee State Subdivision Opioid Abatement Agreement and improving the related settlement agreements. Next one is RS 2021-1237. That's item number 8. A resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County for right-of-way acquisition. Item number 9, RS 2021-1238 by Councilmember Allen, a resolution approving the First Amendment to an agreement between Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Mythix, Inc. to provide Oracle software support and maintenance. RS 2021-1240, that's item number 11, Alan Welsh and others, a resolution approving a grant from the United States Department of the Treasury to the Metropolitan Government through the Metropolitan Action Commission to be used for emergency rental assistance in accordance with the purposes set forth in Section 3201A of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. RS 2021-1241, that's item number 12, Alan Bradford Warren Stiles, resolution accepting an in-kind grant from Americans for the Arts to the Metropolitan Government through the Arts Commission to implement a diversity in arts leadership internship program to provide technical assistance to help establish the summer internship program. Item number 13, RS 2021-1242, Evans and Welsh, resolution approving an agreement to detail for the Public Health Associate Program between the Metropolitan Government through the Board of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, provide an associate to assist public health agencies in developing, implementing, and evaluating public health programs. Item number 14, RS 2021-1243, Allen, Evans, and Welsh, resolution accepting a grant from a Step Ahead Foundation of Middle Tennessee, Inc. to the Metropolitan Government through the Board of Health, provide reimbursement for certain costs associated with providing long-acting reversible contraception. RS 2021-1244, item number 15, Allen, Evans, Warren, and others, resolution accepting a Nashville Health Accelerator Plan grant from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to the Metro Government through the Board of Health to address social determinants of health to improve chronic disease outcomes among persons experiencing health disparities and inequities. Item number 16, Allen, Evans, Warren, others, RS 2021-1245, resolution approving amendments 1 and 2 to the Healthy Start Initiative, eliminating racial, ethnic disparities grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to the Metro Government through the Board of Health to provide a variety of services in reducing infant mortality for pregnant and parenting women. RS 2021-1246, that's item 17, Allen, Evans, Welsh, and Bradford. Resolution approving amendments 2 and 3 to a grant for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to the Metro Government through the Board of Health to enhance access to a comprehensive continuum of high-quality community-based care for low-income individuals and families with HIV disease. RS 2021-1247, Allen, Evans, Welsh, and Bradford. Resolution approving Amendment 2 to a grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to the Metro Government through the Board of Health to provide for the prevention, surveillance, diagnosis, and treatment of HIV/AIDS and administer a Minority AIDS Initiative program. Item number 19, RS 2021-1248, Allen, Evans, Bradford, Stiles, and Gamble. Resolution accepting a grant from the Friends of Metro Animal Care and Control to the Metropolitan Government through the Board of Health to provide funding for emergency medical care for shelter animals. RS 2021-1249, Allen, Evans, Bradford, and Stiles. Resolution accepting a grant from the Marjorie A. Newhoff Private Foundation to the Metro Government through the Board of Health, provide funding for the care of shelter animals at Metro Animal Care and Control. RS 2021-1250, that's item 21, Syracuse, Allen, and Young. Resolution approving agreement between the United States Department of the Army and the Metro Government through the Department of Water and Sewer Services for the K.R. Harrington Water Treatment Plant Steam Bank Stabilization Project in Davidson County. RS 2021-1252 by Councilmember Hall. Resolution, I'm sorry. I was just going down the list. I was going like, why is that on there? Because I thought that's going to be moved. All right, so the next one is item 25, RS 2021-1254. Councilmember Syracuse, O'Connell, Welsh, and a host of other council members. Resolution to bring awareness to human trafficking in Tennessee and to encourage the hospitality industry in Nashville, to post signage and attend workshops concerning human trafficking. RS 2021-1255, resolution honoring Clara Mohammed School of Nashville on its 50th anniversary. That's by Councilmember Sawara. RS 2021-1256 by Councilmembers Withers, Van Reese, Benedict, Young, and Bradford. Resolution recognizing November 20th, 2021 as Transgender Day of Remembrance in Nashville and Davidson County, Tennessee. And the last one on consent, RS 2021-1257 by Hurt, Withers, Van Reese, and others. Resolution recognizing December 1st, 2021 as World AIDS Day in Nashville and Davidson County. All right, so those are all the things. I've got a motion to approve and a second. I need committee reports. Okay, I've got one in affordable housing. Councilmember Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Affordable Housing Committee considered RS 2021-1232. We voted 9 for, 0 against.
Okay, that was it for that one. Budget and Finance, Councilmember Allen, you got the next one.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance considered a number of bills, RS 2021-1232, 1233, 1235, 1237, 1238, turning pages, 1240, 1241, 1243, 1244, 1245, 1246, 1247, 1248, 1249, 1251, and voted to approve each of those, 9 in favor, 0 against.
1250. It was 1250, I think.
1250.
That's okay.
Sorry, my glasses fogged up.
That's all right. All right, thank you, Councilmember Allen. Councilmember Hancock has government operations. Who's got that one? Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So government operations considered RS 2021-1238, and that was approved 6 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Welsh, Human Services.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Human Services considered 1240 and voted to approve 5-0. 5 to approve, 0 against.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Withers, you've got one.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I'm deferring my planning committee reports to Vice Chair Rutherford for tonight's meeting, who
All right,
filled in for me very capably. So thank you.
Councilmember Rutherford, you're recognized.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning considered 1237 and voted 8 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you. Public Facilities, Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We considered RS 2021-1241 and 5 in favor, 0 against to approve.
All right. Councilmember Evans, you've got a whole bunch of them.
I do. Public Health and Safety considered RS 2021-1233, 1235, 1242, 1243, 1244, 1245, 1246, 1247, 1248, 1249, and we were 11 in favor, 0 against.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Evans. Councilmember Pooley, I think you've got a list of them too.
Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Our Rules, Comprehensions, and Public Elections considered RS 2021-1254 through 1257 and recommended approval 6 in favor, 0 against.
Okay. All right, thank you. And last but not least, Councilmember Young, bring us home.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. RS 2021-1237 and 1250 were both recommended by Transportation and Infrastructure, 9 in favor, 0 against, and I move approval of the consent agenda.
All right, well, I've already got a motion, so you didn't even have to do anything. But I got a motion and a second, as long as everybody's in agreement. Any questions about the consent agenda? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Consent agenda passes. Okay, so let's go back. I was given a note. There was another individual that passed away this week, Tootie Haskins. Some of you may have known Tootie. She was a well-established figure up at the legislature. She was always very, very nice to me when I was there. She passed away after an illness. So please remember her as well. Okay. All right, so we're now back on item number 1, RS 2021-1204. That's a resolution appropriating $1.933 million in American Recovery Plan Act funds from Fund Number 30216 to Metro Parks to be used for managing homeless encampments, renovation, repair of Brookmead Park. Councilmember Gamble, Johnston, Allen, Bradford, and Hauser. Councilmember, there you are. Councilmember Gamble, you're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move to suspend the rules to add a late filed amendment.
All right, so let me get committee reports in first, and then we'll figure out where we go. All right, so Budget and Finance, Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. After much discussion, Budget and Finance considered several amendments. We voted for Amendment 1, 4 in favor, 2 against. Amendment 3, 3 in favor, 4 against. Amendment 3, 0 in favor, 3 against. And then we voted for a 1-meeting deferral, 9 in favor, 0 against.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Glover?
Okay, so I guess I'm a little bit confused. If we deferred one meeting in Budget and Finance, is it not an automatic deferral?
So there was a discussion about this before. Ms. Zeitlin?
So on the first deferral by a committee of a one
Okay,
being
so
deferred,
that's-
it's an automatic deferral.
all right,
But,
that- all right.
but since that's happened before, it was
Okay.
deferred by rule last meeting.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, it's a good question. We were trying to make sure we had that right. Okay, thank you, Ms. Zeitlin. Public facilities, Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public facilities did not take any of the amendments. Instead, we voted 7 in favor, 0 against for a one-meeting deferral.
Okay, all right, so Councilmember Gamble, I'm back to you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So I would still like to move, if I can, with the 2 deferrals, I would still like to move to suspend the rules to add a late filed amendment by Councilmember Rosenberg.
Okay, so has the late filed amendment been passed out? It's a late filed amendment by Councilmember Rosenberg?
Yes.
Okay. Does everybody have a copy? Okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen it before. Okay, but everybody has a copy of this that came through? Does everybody have a copy of it?
Yes, it was
Okay, so council members, what I've got is a late amendment by Councilmember Rosenberg. It was sent out this afternoon in your email. Let's make sure you all have it. It's adding the following as a new section 3 and renumbering the current section 3 as section 4, and it's discussing funds. All right, so it's by Councilmember Rosenberg. All right, so Councilmember Gamble has moved to suspend the rules. Did you go to the Rules Committee?
No, I did not.
Okay, so it would
Good.
Councilmember Rosenberg did.
Great.
All right, so Councilmember Pulley, did you discuss this late file amendment in
Yes.
your Rules Committee?
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor, we did discuss, and nobody objected to the nature of reason for the late file.
All right, so for purposes of making sure that we're clear, we have a late filed amendment. Councilmember Rosenberg is the author of it. He went to the Rules Committee because he was sitting in there. And so he brought it up. There was no objection. Councilmember Gamble has requested that we suspend the rules to get this before us tonight. Is there any objection to suspension of the rules? Okay, so there is a long list of people on my list. Anybody on this list that wants to be heard, any objections? Okay, all right, so the rules are suspended. Councilmember Gamble, you're on your amendment.
Thank you. And I would like to ask Councilmember Rosenberg to speak to the amendment.
And that is fine. Councilmember Rosenberg, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. So a lot of this resolution is focused on Brookmead, where several dozen of my constituents live. I think it's important to recognize, despite assertions to the contrary, whether you like the expenditures in this resolution or not, they do not seek to solve homelessness in any way. There's some equipment for parks, there's some video cameras, and there's some signage and asphalt for Brookmead. But there's so much more for us to actually do to help. MNPD West Precinct is doing really compassionate work at the park. Colby's Army, among others, is constantly on the ground working so hard in Metro. But we need housing, we need frequent trash pickups at all of our encampments, we need housing, and we need housing. I hope we can turn our focus to getting supportive housing built, like now. This amendment seeks to alleviate concerns that any of this money could be used to remove residents from encampments across the city. The Parks Department, the ARP committee members, and the administration have said that's not their intent, and this amendment seeks to write that into the resolution. It says simply, no funds allocated under this resolution shall be used for the purpose or effect of removing, inconveniencing, or otherwise disturbing residents from existing homeless encampments, nor shall any funds allocated under this resolution be used to free up resources to be used for such. Not sure if Councilmember Gamble moved approval of the amendment or not, but if not, I will now.
All right, so again, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we've had a lot of attention on this. Councilmember Rosenberg has read you word for word what the amendment is, okay? So just if you're paying attention to this bill, it's simply, let me make sure I've got this right. It's adding a new section to what's already existing. It's just adding this language into the current resolution. Correct, Councilmember Rosenberg? Okay, so that's correct. So I've got a motion to approve the amendment, properly seconded. It's before this body. Again, we're on RS 2021-1204. I've got people in the queue. Councilmember Rosenberg, you're first, but you've just spoken. Councilmember Gamble, you're second. Do you want to speak on the amendment? Okay. Councilmember Johnston, you're recognized.
Thank you. As a member, as a sponsor of this legislation and also a member of the COVID-19 Financial Oversight Committee, I support this amendment fully, and I hope that my colleagues will as well. I honestly, I understand that the caption of the resolution, in my opinion, was poorly written, and we, as a committee, could have done a better job of catching that, because the intent of the allocation was never for the Parks Department to have any sort of action as it relates to homeless encampments or removing people from their homes as they see them at all, ever. It was never the intent to have cameras pointed at them. It was never the intent to bulldoze anything. This allocation is for equipment that is desperately needed by a severely underfunded department that handles over 16,000 acres of parks acreage. Did I say that right? 16,000 acres of parks that they are tasked with maintaining and keeping safe for our residents and our visitors. And so I hope that you will support this this amendment to the resolution and move forward with the allocation as it stands in the resolution now, because it is, like I said, desperately needed, and this now articulates what the true intention of these funds is to support the Parks Department and what they do every single day.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Johnston. Councilmember Druffel, you're recognized.
Not on the amendment.
Not on the amendment, okay. Anybody else wishing to be heard on the amendment? Councilmember Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and I appreciate Councilmember Rosenberg for bringing this forward to clarify. I guess that my question is, some of this equipment, such as these extraordinarily bright lights, I don't see how those would be used except in a way to disturb or inconvenience folks who were camping out. And then let's say there's two Bobcats that we already are in possession of, the Parks is already in possession of. Do we tag those as being not funded by this, and then we could use those to disturb a camp? So will we have like a spreadsheet of the serial numbers of which Bobcat unit was funded through this expenditure? I'm not clear on how this would. I think it might declare an intent, but I'm a little bit concerned about it. So as a council member, if someone sends me a video of, say, this equipment being utilized in this way, what is the recourse there? I'm having a hard time understanding the enforcement piece of this or the binding piece of this. So I don't know if anybody in the administration or the sponsor of the amendment could speak to that.
All right, so I'm looking at who wants to address that. It's administration. Mr. Jameson.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you, Councilman Parker. We're grateful to Councilman Rosenberg for the amendment, considered a friendly amendment for those who participated in the budget and finance discussion. And earlier today at the public facilities discussion, there was concern about the caption of the bill and how in Exhibit A there was a reference to how the equipment was categorized. The intention is expressed by the Director Odom from the Parks Department, and as confirmed by the ARP Committee, was that the intention here is never to have this equipment deployed in any way for eviction, if that's the term, of the homeless. And the priority is to rehouse the homeless, and had made great strides just this week in finding supportive housing for 14 of the residents. But only after the residents had been housed, then there will be a significant cleanup project required. Director Odom confirmed that as well during the Public Facilities Committee meeting.
Mr. Jameson, the amendment?
So the amendment clarifies that and makes clear that that is not that there's no intention
to the extent the caption could lead you to believe that this was going to be warranting the use of this equipment to immediately remove the homeless population there now. So we think it clarifies that. I know there was discussion about a substitute. That is fine as well if a new caption is desired. But we do find the amendment effectively clarifies the intention of the Parks Department and the ARP Committee.
Councilmember Parker.
So again, this would not be binding in any way. There would be no avenue of recourse if it were reported that this equipment were being utilized in this way.
This is funding to allocate the ARP funds. Whether or not that equipment is always used exactly as intended by every staff member, yes, you could have a misuse, but this clarifies that those, and I believe Director Odom would see to it, that equipment would not be used until complete housing is achieved. And I think were it to be used before complete housing is achieved, you would hear from it immediately, directly from the residents, from the constituents, and from other members of this council.
Councilmember Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Jameson. And Vice Mayor, I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about this amendment because it feels, you know, in this discussion of how will this equipment be utilized, what is it being designated for, you know, you get into questions of, you know, what is the actual tip of the spear in the eviction or destruction of a camp, and is this used to sort of come in after for the cleanup? It's just I'm not super clear on what this amendment is accomplishing besides addressing some of the negative press that this has gotten. So thank you, Vice Mayor.
All right. So, Councilmember Parker, if you still got questions, I can come back to you if you want to hit your button again. I've got Councilmember Welsh. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I cannot support this amendment, though I very much appreciate the intent. There are many, many parks in Nashville that need renovation, that need cleaning up, that need TLC, and I really don't see that there is any reason that this park should be solely funded and be put at the head of the list for all of this, especially since Director Odom said last night in the Budget Committee that nothing will happen at the park until after the homeless encampment is gone, something that she says is not related to the resolution and therefore has no timeline attached to it that she can speak to. So I don't see that there's any reason to allocate these funds for just one park unless, in fact, the intent does actually have something to do with the removal of a homeless encampment. If this is not related to the homeless encampment at all, there's no reason to allocate the money now, again, and designate only one park. And I believe that parks should ask the ARP committee for funding that is not dependent on the changed circumstances of any group of people. That just never ends well. So I cannot support this amendment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Druffel, you're back on the board. On the amendment? Okay. All right. So have to go to somebody who hasn't spoken yet on the bill. Councilmember House, are you recognized?
I have a question in relationship to, does this resolution and the amendment preserve the fact that at some point in time we can have the $850,000 available? In other words, does this kind of make sure that that money is going to be there for when we do need to spend it? And if we don't pass it, does that mean that when it's needed, we have to go through a lengthy process to get it assigned again?
All right, so I'm going to go to Ms. Zeitlin first, and then may go back to the sponsor. Ms. Zeitlin, you're recognized.
And so this is a question on this, you know, on Councilman Rosenberg's amendment. So his amendment does not remove any funding. So that funding would remain in the resolution and could be used by parks at a later date.
Councilmember House, or does that explain what you're looking for?
Sort of, yeah. I probably should have waited till after the amendment to ask the question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, Councilmember Gamble, you're recognized.
I'd just like to say, in regards to the amendment, I appreciate the amendment that is being added to the bill. I echo Councilmember Johnston's sentiments that we should have made the content in the legislation more clear from the beginning, just to make the understanding that we had as a committee hearing from the Parks Department when they came before the committee and presented this proposal, and we did ask detailed questions about the equipment, about a fence, I think that is proposed in one of the, in the itemized list of equipment and things that they need. So we had an understanding that this would not be used to move homeless encampments or to address the homeless issue for our city. This is from our understanding, and now with this amendment, it makes it a little more clear. This is to manage parks, which it does say in the caption, to manage parks. We could have left the other part out, but it was significant to note that there is more need for cleanup and managing parks because of the impact of the pandemic on our homeless population. And that's why that was in there. But I do appreciate the amendment to make it clear, again, in writing, the intention behind this ordinance and the committee's support for it. Thank you.
And thank you, Councilmember Gamble. I've got Councilmember Nash.
Thank you, Mr. President. To Councilmember Welch's concerns, in the facilities meeting today, Director Odom, Director Surveillance, both stated that these funds were not going to be used solely at Brookmead, that the cameras, for instance, would be put in a bunch of different parks. From OEM's perspective, that would help them in case of weather emergencies to be able to look at a camp and say, ooh, are they being affected right now? Again, I think the caption is, we all agree, it was terribly written, kind of slipped through and inflated some ideas about Brookmead and the homeless that really are not there. So I don't think you have to worry about this being focused solely on Brookmead. I can tell you I've got a parking lot over at Whitfield Park that we'd love to see a camera in, cut down on some of the break-ins in automobiles, for instance. So again, I think it's a part of that conflation and poor writing.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Nash. Councilmember Evans.
I'd like to call the previous question.
All right, so Councilmember Evans has called the previous question on the amendment. We're just on the amendment at this point. This is Councilmember Rosenberg's amendment. We're voting on the previous question, not on the amendment yet. All those in favor of the previous question say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Previous question prevails. We are voting on the amendment. We'll try by voice vote first. Again, we're voting on Councilmember Rosenberg's late filed amendment to RS 2021-1204. All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Anybody who voted no, raise your hand so we can actually get that taken care of. So I've got. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So the amendment passes. So the amendment is now on the bill. So we're now back RS 2021-1204 as amended. Councilmember Gamble, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move for the one meeting deferral to track with the committees.
Second. All right, so Councilmember Gamble has moved to defer RS 2021-1204, one meeting, properly seconded. Discussion on, now we're on a deferral motion. Councilmember Druffel, again, we're on a deferral motion. Councilmember Druffel, you're recognized.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Totally understand we put the cart before the horse in this. We need to solve the homeless. This is a neighborhood right next to ours, and definitely an impact on our neighbors, and we need to see a solution with some urgency. So I get it, the deferral, but I think there has to be urgency in solving this problem. I appreciate you, Vice Mayor, putting a strategic plan together, because it's not just this community, but all the homeless communities have to be solved at the same time. Totally agree. This has been around for 12 years, guys. This is a long-term issue. As Judy Tech will tell you, any encampment that is around that long gets very entrenched and becomes very difficult, not only with the park, but with the people that are in there. We have to take great care to take care of the people, but it's a park that we need to get back. We've invested millions in our parks. We invest millions in new parks, and yet this is a park that exists and that we can't use, our neighbors can't use. We need to take care of it, and we need to have some urgency. So I agree with the one meeting deferral, but I want to make sure that we come back with a good plan to solve this. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Druffel. Councilmember Bradford, you're recognized on the deferral motion.
Yes, Vice Mayor. So I'm standing in support of the deferral and ask my colleagues to vote as well. Because in discussion in public facilities, we discussed that this whole situation has been just a series of errors about communication. We talked about how even though Parks has said that this money would be for all parks and that it would not be, the park would not be repaired until after the homeless encampment was out, the caption of the bill says otherwise. And so we want to take this opportunity to hit pause, reset. In public facilities, we ask for the deferral so that we could get a cleaner bill that actually encompasses the true spirit of the bill, and to make sure that we're taking out all this confusion and making sure that we are focused completely on the needs of the parks and not trying to disrupt this encampment, and to make sure that we are all on the same page. So I ask all my colleagues to vote in support of the deferral.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Bradford. Anybody else wish to be heard on the deferral motion? Councilmember Glover, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And let me say this. I appreciate the fact that we're going to get together on the 30th and the 1st. What I hope is coming out of that meeting that we will all have a very open mind with the discussion that goes on here. This is a complicated issue, no doubt about it. And I appreciate the fact that you're bringing us all together to be able to talk about this ourselves, along with several others in the community that will be doing this. And so I think the format will be helpful. What I think we need to be cautious of is if we don't come out with the exact answer there, perhaps we come out with some excellent suggestions and we begin implementing those suggestions. I agree with the council member that this bill, absolutely, language needs to be cleaned up because it's confusing as you read it. So we have that opportunity to take advantage of that and clean that up now. But I will say, coming into this meeting on the 30th and the 1st, it is my sincere desire that regardless of how you approach this, we all approach it as it is a Nashville situation, and that we need to approach it and come together to try and resolve it, because it is a growing problem for us. And it is my hopes that we walk away from here with some real solutions and begin a process of repairing and fixing the overall situation. Thank you, Vice Mayor. And I do support the deferral.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Glover. Anybody else wishing to speak on the deferral? All right. So the motion was to defer one meeting. It was properly seconded. Nobody else in the queue. It's a one meeting deferral. That's the vote. All those in favor of one meeting deferral say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. This resolution, as amended, is deferred one meeting. Thank you, Councilmember Gamble, and thank you all for a very good discussion on this. We're now on item number 5, RS 2021-1234 by Councilmember Withers, Allen, and Lee. It's a resolution to amend the lease entered into by and between the Metropolitan Government through the Board of Public Education and Nashville Classical Charter School. Councilmember Withers, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I actually need to move to withdraw this one, and it will come back as an ordinance and have committee meetings in 2 meetings.
Okay, so you can just actually withdraw.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Resolution RS 2021-1234 is withdrawn. Item number 7, RS 2021-1236 by Councilmembers Young, O'Connell, Allen, and Henderson. Resolution recommending implementation of certain transportation system safety policies in furtherance of Vision Zero. Councilmember Young, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Committee reports.
All right, Budget and Finance, Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance recommended approval, 9 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Young, you've got the other one.
Transportation Infrastructure recommended a 1 meeting deferral, 9 in favor, 0 against.
All right, Councilmember Young.
I will move a 1 meeting deferral.
Okay. So Councilmember Young has moved a 1 meeting deferral, properly seconded. Any discussion on the deferral? All those in favor of the 1 meeting deferral say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. This resolution is deferred 1 meeting. Okay, next item is item number 10, RS 2021-1239 by Councilmember Sledge, Parker, Allen, and Welsh. Resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Development and Housing Agency to negotiate and enter into a pilot agreement and accept payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes with respect to a multifamily housing project located at 101 Factory Street, known as Chestnut Hill. Councilmember Sledge, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
All right, Budget and Finance, Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance recommended approval, 8 in favor, 1 against.
All right, Affordable Housing, Councilmember Parker.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Affordable housing recommended in favor, 9 and 0 against.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Sledge, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I move approval with a brief comment.
All right, so Councilmember Sledge has moved approval, properly seconded. Back to you for a brief explanation.
Great, thank you. So in light of Ms. Williams' comments tonight during public comment, I hope that this is one of several pieces of the solution here. So the pilot agreement tonight is on a vacant piece of land that is a half mile, about a 12-minute walk from the Murfreesboro Pike BRT line. It will produce 204 units of truly affordable housing. It is income averaged. It is from 30 to 70% of area median income. To help out with real numbers there, 40% of area median income, a one bedroom is about $570 a month. Important thing about this project, in addition to the fact that it is an income average, fully affordable development on vacant land whose pilot pays more in the initial years than the tax revenue we get from the land, is that it also includes what are called project-based vouchers. Some of you may have seen media coverage over the weekend about difficulty in finding Section 8 landlords to accept Section 8 vouchers. One of the things MDHA has been doing is converting those Section 8 vouchers into what's called project-based vouchers. That allows for residents to be able to access these units, again, new affordable units, in a way that they might not be able to otherwise. And additionally, when we talk about that range of 30 to 70% AMA, project-based vouchers, because they operate in the same way as Section 8, actually allow for lower than that. The 30% is the floor in the payment structure, but an individual who may be making less than 30% AMI can still qualify for those vouchers. That's how important this is, and that's how dadgum complicated it is to do affordable housing. So I do encourage members, if you are interested in projects like this, there are all kinds of stuff that several of us have been doing over the years that look like this. I'm super excited about the fact that this is coming to District 17 and request your support. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Sledge. Anybody in the queue? Councilmember Sledge has moved approval of RS 2021-1239, properly seconded. Nobody in the queue. All those in favor of the resolution say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution passes. Thank you, Councilmember Sledge. All right, next item is item number 22, RS 2021-1251. This is on page 8 of my agenda. Resolution to repeal resolution number RS 2018-1171 related to the Vehicle Inspection Program. Councilmember Roten is the lead sponsor, along with a host of other council members. Councilmember Roten, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Need committee reports.
Oh, committee reports. I'm sorry. I forget we got committee reports. Committee
Okay.
reports, please.
Councilmember Allen, Budget and Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance had a long discussion about this and recommended an amendment, 5 in favor, 2 against, believe, and then voted to defer, 7 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Allen.
Defer to January 4th.
January 4th, okay. Public Health, Councilmember Evans.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We approved the amendment, 11 in favor, 0 against. We did not vote to defer. We voted in approval, 11 in favor, 0 against.
Okay. All right, Councilmember Roten, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. So I think everybody knows what this is. This is the resolution to end emissions testing in Davidson County. We are all aware that the state has permitted the surrounding counties of Davidson County to end their programs. The EPA has said that our air quality has reached a level that is okay for us to remove our emissions testing here in Davidson County if we so choose. About a year and a half ago, I think it was, we decided to keep it for a while. Lately, we've been all getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. We know what they all are. People are sitting in long lines, don't know why they still have to do it, and the surrounding counties don't have to. Started doing a little research. The cars are cleaner now than ever. We have the Biden administration has filed rules that will reduce the amount of emissions from cars for those made between 2023 and 2027. I sent you all articles about how we are now looking to have electric cars, manufacturers say anywhere between 25% to 40% by 2030. I don't see the emissions level from light vehicles increasing anytime in the near future. And that's why I filed the bill. I was just happened to be the lucky one that I asked first because I have 23 co-sponsors and a lot of them wanted to be first on the bill, and I apologize for getting in your way. With that being said, the Department of Health has asked us to let them take a look at anything the Biden administration might be doing in the future. They said they haven't had a chance to reach out and talk to them since we just filed this last week. I did not really want to not put this up for a vote tonight. I wanted to vote on it tonight and get it ended. The earliest we can end this is based on an amendment that's going to be put on and where the state was as far as the state law says that you can't end it until 120 days after they permitted it, which the EPA admitted it, which was back on September the 15th, which puts us at January 14th. That's the earliest, January 14th, 2022, that we can end this. Today, the Department of Health came to me and said, Kevin, would you allow us to take a look at this, do our due diligence, and get back with everybody, have a meeting with Finance and Health, and defer it to January the 4th, and then they have an agreement with the emission testing centers to end emission testing on January the 28th. I have a lot of co-sponsors who don't want to do that.
Councilor Roten, you can continue.
Thank you. Now, I don't disagree with my co-sponsors that we need to end this. The question is whether we let health do their due diligence, let the emissions companies work with their employees on how they're going to end their jobs. We have a lot of employees working at these centers throughout the county. Or do we want to end it tonight and then it will end on January 14th? So I guess what we're voting on tonight after we put the amendment on is I'm going to ask for the deferral to the January 4th date, but that's not because I don't want this to end. I want this to end on January the 28th, and on January the 4th, I will vote to end this. If tonight the deferral motion does not pass, I will vote to end this tonight. So that's where I am on this, and I don't want anybody to think in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I want this to continue. So, Mr. Vice Mayor, I think there's an amendment that we need to put on, so I would let Councilmember Johnston, and I'm going to move, actually, I'm going to let him put the amendment on, and then we'll move for the deferral.
So Councilor Roten, what I'm going to do is go to Councilmember Johnston. We'll deal with the amendment, and then I'll come back to you. Okay? Councilmember Johnston, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. When I read the resolution, I knew that the intent was for it to end on January the 14th, which would track with state law timing, but it was not codified, and so I wanted to make that date certain, and so that's what this amendment does. It says that the emissions testing would end on January the 14th of 2022. So I hope that my colleagues are in support of that amendment.
All right, so Councilor Johnston, go ahead and move your amendment.
I would like to move my amendment, please.
Councilmember Johnston moves her amendment, properly seconded. Discussion on the amendment. I've got a number of people on the board. Councilmember Rosenberg on the amendment. Councilmember Sledge on the amendment. Councilmember Glover on the amendment. As far as the board will go. Any discussion on the amendment? Councilmember Allen on the amendment. Councilmember Pooley on the amendment. All right, we're on the amendment. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the motion is to approve the amendment. It's been properly seconded. Councilmember Lee on the amendment. Councilmember Evans on the amendment. Okay. All right, we're voting on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Amendment passes.
Thank you.
Councilmember Roten, I'm back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor, and I think what I said pretty much is clear. I'm going to move for deferral to January the 4th with an ending date to this program on January the 28th. If you vote this deferral, if you don't vote for the deferral, we will vote to end this tonight, and it will end on January the 14th. Either way, if we end it on January the 14th, or if we defer it, vote on it on January 4th and end it on January the 28th, December 31st will be the last date that people have to get the emissions test because they're both in January. So I just want everybody to be clear on what they're doing tonight. So, Mr. Vice Mayor, I just move for the deferral of January 4th and a closure date on January 28th.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second. Before we go any further, Ms. Zeitlin, based upon your motion, Councilmember Roden, you're just simply moving the resolution to the first meeting in January, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you're not adding something in there.
No, I'm not adding anything, but we have all had discussions about this. They understand that they just want to have meetings with people in the council to let them know what is going on with this program. It's only been 6 days since I filed the resolution. I thought that was the only fair thing to do. The emissions companies asked that we not end it just so quickly so that their employees have time to kind of figure out what's going on with their lives. So that's why I agreed to I always, as an attorney, when you're doing a settlement, I always think it's better to do an agreed settlement than a forced settlement. And so I think I'm trying to do an agreed settlement. I think some other folks would rather just do the forced settlement. I don't necessarily disagree with them, but I'm moving forward with an agreed settlement tonight. So.
Okay. So again, ladies and gentlemen of the council, the deferral motion is to defer this resolution as amended to the first meeting in January, which is January the 4th. It's not to change anything substantive it's just a deferral motion. I know that Councilman Roten mentioned, I think, January the 28th. That's been discussed, but it's not part of the deferral motion, okay? Just clarifying. All right, so we've got a number of people who are in the queue. We're on a deferral motion to January 4th on the resolution. Councilmember Rosenberg, you're first.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I appreciate the lead sponsor's work on all this. I think that it's time. I'm not supporting the deferral motion tonight for a few reasons. Number one is I'm not looking forward to headlines tomorrow that say the Metro Council decided not to end the emissions program. Number two is I think that by ending it tonight, we're giving the emissions folks and their employees a lot more time. If we do it tonight, we're giving them 8 weeks notice that they need to wind down. If we do it on January 4th with a January 28th end date, that's 24 days. I don't know if there's some sort of 30-day provision that's involved in all this as well. But we all know how this is ending. This is ending with the emissions program coming to an end. So I don't know why we need to leave folks wondering what's going on, be unclear, maybe have people making unnecessary non-emissions related repairs to their cars leading into the holiday season when they're not going to need, if we don't do this now, then we're putting off the decision that nobody's going to have certainty until January 4th. And that's a much shorter runway. So I had a vote against the deferral motion tonight and hope that we can approve it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Rosenberg. Councilmember Sledge.
Previous question.
Okay. So Councilmember Sledge has called for the previous question. Again, we are not voting on the deferral motion. We're voting on the previous question, okay? All right, just on the previous question as to whether we're ready to vote on the deferral motion. All those in favor of the previous question say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? All right, previous question prevails. We are voting on the deferral motion. So the request, let's go back over this. Councilmember Roten has moved to defer RS 2021-1251 as amended to January the 4th. If you're for Councilmember Roten's deferral motion, you would vote aye. If you're against it, you would vote no. Madam Clerk, I think we go on the board on this one, okay? Okay, again, we're simply voting on a deferral motion. If you're for Councilmember Roten's deferral motion, you would vote aye or yes. If you're against the deferral motion, you would vote no. Ready to go? Madam Clerk, open up the machines. All right, votes are in. Madam Clerk, close machines, take the vote. Ayes 18, noes 11, 0 abstentions. The deferral motion passes. This is deferred until January the 4th. Okay. All right, ready to move on. We are on RS item number 23, RS 2021-1252 by Councilmember Hall. It's a resolution encouraging recycling efforts in Metro Nashville and Davidson County, requesting Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewer Services to incentivize recycling efforts. Councilmember Hall, it's deferred by rule anyway, because Councilmember Hall is not here. He's the only sponsor on the bill, so it'll be deferred one meeting. RS 2021-1253, that's item number 24. Councilmember Van Rees is lead sponsor, but I think Councilmember Porterfield is handling this. And she may be outside. I think we're going to go get her. Councilmember Virtue Stiles and others, a resolution recognizing the 100-year celebration of the Fairfield Four and the continued legacy of the McCreary sisters. Councilmember Porterfield, you're recognized on your resolution.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
It is rules. Councilmember Pooley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Rules, confirmation of public election considered RS 2021-1253 and recommended approval 6 in favor, 0 against.
All right. Councilmember Porterfield, back to you.
Thank you so very much, Vice Mayor. And Councilmember Van Rees could not be here with us on this evening, but she's the lead sponsor on this resolution. And there were a few things that we were requesting. The first request is if we could honor the Murphy Law, and if everyone who votes in the affirmative could be listed as a sponsor, a co-sponsor on the resolution, we would really appreciate it. A copy of this resolution will be going to the African American Music Museum. So we would love if this had everyone's signature on it. And we also wanted everyone to know that they will be here. The McCrearys and the Fairfield Four will be attending the December 21st meeting for a reading of the resolution. So if anyone would like to stand with us at that time, we would love your support. And with that, Vice Mayor, I ask for approval.
All right. Councilmember Porterfield has moved for approval of RS 2021-1253, and you would like everybody voting in the affirmative to be listed as a co-prime sponsor.
Yes, sir.
Any objection to everybody being listed as a sponsor? No problems? All right. Okay. So, Madam Clerk, do we need to go on the board, or are we okay? Okay. Okay. So we just simply take a record, so we're okay. Councilmember Porterfield has moved for passage of RS 2021-1253. It's been properly seconded. Anybody voting in the affirmative will be listed as a prime sponsor. I got a motion and a second. Any questions on the resolution? Seeing none, all those in favor of the resolution say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Resolution passes. Thank you, Councilmember Porterfield. All right. I think that completes resolutions. We have one late resolution. There should be two on your agenda, but one has been pulled, so we only have one. It has no number. R is 2021. It's by Councilmember Henderson. Resolution approving an interlocal agreement between the Metropolitan government through the Department of Transportation and the City of Forest Hills for public infrastructure improvements in the intersection of Linwood Drive and Tyne Boulevard. Councilmember Henderson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move to suspend the rules, please.
All right. Councilmember Henderson is moving to suspend the rules. Councilmember Pulley, go before rules.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Yes, this late resolution did come before rules, and we considered the late nature, and no one had any objection.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Pulley. Councilmember Henderson has moved to suspend the rules to get this measure before us tonight. Any objection to suspension of the rules? Seeing no objection, Councilmember Henderson, the rules are suspended. You're on your resolution.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. This is a great targeted partnership for traffic calming between a satellite city and NDOT, and I would request your support and move approval, please.
All right, so let's get, I think it went to two other committees.
I apologize.
Correct?
Committee reports,
All right,
please.
Councilmember Young, Transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. We agreed with Councilmember Henderson that it's wonderful and voted to recommend it. 9 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Young. Councilmember Rutherford, did you all find the same thing in Planning and Zoning?
Yes, we did. Planning and Zoning recommended approval, 8 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Henderson, back to you.
Yes, so with all committee reports in, recommending approval, I would move approval, please.
All right, so I got a motion to approve, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, we're on this late filed resolution. All those in favor of the resolution say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Resolution passes. Thank you, Councilmember Henderson. All right, we're now on bills on first reading, introduction, first reading. We'll take all the bills together unless there's an objection, which I think there is one. That is item number 29, BL 2021-1010 by Councilmember Glover. Will come off based upon Rule 9, so it's coming off. Any other objections to anything on first reading? All right, so if not, we'll take them all together. Can I have a motion to approve all bills on first reading? Okay, I got a motion, properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion to approve everything on first reading? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. All those bills on first reading pass with the exception of BL 2021-1010. Item number 29, it will automatically come up on first reading next meeting. Okay. Councilmember Glover, point of order.
Let me make sure I get complete clarification here. So it will be on first reading next time. It cannot be withdrawn or suspended again or deferred, correct?
Not pursuant to Rule 9.
Okay, all right. Okay, very good, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we are now on bills on second reading. We do have a consent calendar, so stay with me. Because we don't have many bills on second reading. Item number 40, BL 2021-947 is on consent. Item number 972 is on consent. 976 on consent. Let me go back over those. 947, 972, and 976. 977 on consent. 978 on consent. 979 on consent. 980 on consent. 981 on consent, and 982 on consent. Anything needs to be bumped off of the second reading consent calendar? Let me go back over them. Okay, I'm going to go through them. 947, 972, 976, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 82. Anything needs to be bumped off the calendar? All right, seeing none, we're ready to go through them. These are bills on second reading on consent. BL 2021-947 by Councilmember Rutherford. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by amending the Brinkley Property-Specific Plan. Property located at 9287 Barco Drive, southwest corner of Lace Park Drive and Marco Drive. Zone SP, it's 0.16 acres to convert an open space lot to a single family residential lot for a total of 104 single-family residential lots. Item number 43, BL 2021-972 by Councilmember Allen, Henderson, Young, Bradford, and others. Ordinance amending Title V of the Metropolitan Code of Laws relative to providing funds for restoring and maintaining Nashville and Davidson County's tree canopy. Item number 45, BL 2021-976 by Councilmember Withers and Allen. Ordinance approving a lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and the United Way of Greater Nashville for office space at 217 South 10th Street in Nashville. Item number 46, BL 2021-977 by Councilmember O'Connell. It's an ordinance to provide for the designation of public property within a specified area of downtown Nashville as a temporary special event zone during the time periods beginning at 9:00 p.m. on December 30th, 2021, and ending at 6:00 a.m. on January 1st, 2022, relative to the use of these areas in conjunction with the 2021 New Year's Eve celebration-related activities and events. BL 2021-978 by Councilmember Vercher. Ordinance adopting the Code of the Metropolitan Government prepared by the Municipal Code Corporation, including supplemental and replacement pages containing certain ordinances of a general and permanent nature enacted on or before June 16, 2021. BL 2021-979 by Welsh, Withers, and Young. It's an ordinance to amend the GIS system street and alley centerline layer for the Metropolitan Government by bending a portion of alley number 1883, right-of-way east of Foster Avenue. Item number 49, BL 2021-980, Toombs, Withers, and Young. Ordinance to amend the GIS system street and alley centerline layer for the Metropolitan Government by bending a portion of alley number 1090, right-of-way northeastward from Haney Avenue to the dead end. BL 2021-981, Councilmember Roberts, Withers, and Young. Ordinance authorizing Silo Capital LLC to install, construct, and maintain underground encroachments in the right-of-way located at 6100 Robertson Avenue. And BL 2021-982 by Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Young. Ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept a fire hydrant assembly for a property located at 1700 Pearl Street. Those are the items on the second reading consent calendar. Anything needs to be bumped off? Seeing none, I need some committee reports. Budget and Finance, Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance considered Bill 2021-972 and 976 and recommended both of those for approval, 7 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, Councilmember Withers. You got, Councilmember Rutherford. You got a host of them.
Yes, Mr. President. Planning and Zoning considered 947, 976, 979, 980, 981, 982, and I believe that's it. And all of those cases voted 8 in favor and 0 against.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Bradford. Public Facilities. You've got one.
Yes, Vice Mayor, we had BL 2021-977. We voted 5 in favor, 0 against for approval.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Evans, you've got one, Public Health. It is 977, BL 2021.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we voted in favor, 11 in favor, 0 against. Thank you.
I always wonder because you shouldn't have any negative votes on any of these on the consent calendar. All right, Councilmember Pulley, you've got one. Rules and confirmation.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Rules consider BL 2021-978 and recommended approval 6 in favor, 0 against.
All right, Councilmember Young.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. The magnificent Transportation and Infrastructure Committee met and we agreed that items BL 2021-972, 979, 980, 981, 982 should be recommended, and 9 of us said yes and 0 of us said no, and I will move the consent agenda, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Young. I've got a motion to approve the second reading consent calendar, properly seconded. Any discussion on bills on second reading? Consent. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. You adopt. Okay, we're going to go back and pick up any ones that were not on the consent calendar. I've got item number 41, BL 2021-970 by council members Allen, Welsh, Hauser, and others. It's an ordinance to amend section 2.24.250 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws to require the proceeds of the sale of delinquent tax sale properties to be deposited into the Barnes Fund for Affordable Housing. Councilmember Allen, you're recognized on your bill on second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Affordable Housing, Councilmember Parker.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Affordable Housing recommended approval 8 for and 1 against.
Okay. And Councilmember Allen on Budget and Finance.
Thank you. Budget and Finance recommended approval 6 in favor and 1 against.
Okay. Councilmember Allen, back to you.
And I move approval with a brief explanation.
Councilmember Allen has moved approval of BL 2021-970 for passage on second reading, properly seconded. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. So typically when there is back tax property, we turn that over to the Barnes Fund, and they are able to leverage the use of that land with nonprofit builders who know how to get other types of funding so that they can create the kind of affordable housing that we say we need. And they are after the pilot that Councilmember Sledge referred to earlier, this is the second biggest chunk of housing that we create in a year through that program. Every once in a while, that property will turn out to be non-buildable, either because it's too small or there's a right-of-way easement or something like that. So we have been, once we have assured that it can't be used for that, no departments need it, we sell those, and the Barnes Fund loses an opportunity for a house to be built. So the suggestion was made that specifically those projects, when those are sold, they tend to be small. This is not a huge amount of our budget. But since they were slated to help the housing problem, it made sense to dedicate that funding to that. So that's what this does, is when those properties can't be used to be built on, but they are sold, that funding would be put into the Barnes Fund and then used to help housing get built. And I would ask for approval.
All right. So Councilmember Allen has moved for approval for passage of second reading on BL 2021-970. Again, it's been properly seconded. Councilmember Murphy, you're recognized.
Thank you. And I've mentioned this to Council Lady Allen. Last term, I sponsored legislation dealing with the sale of real estate, and that the proceeds from the sale of real estate would go to paying off debt or go to buying new property. And when reading the analysis, and again, I apologize because I did not make it to committees to ask these questions. I know that we had some discussion with I had some discussion with the administration last term regarding what types of properties would be captured in that go to the debt or go to buy real estate. And I know we had discussion about delinquent tax properties, and the administration at the time had requested a certain dollar amount over or under. I just didn't see it in the analysis, and it's been a hot minute since last term and a few mayors and things. So I understand if our staff or the administration isn't prepared to address that tonight, but if we can get that information by 3rd of how that plays with what we passed last term, because I thought we had done something with a certain price point on tax delinquent property. So if we can just see how this is going to play together, since it was not mentioned whatsoever, and it goes directly to the legislative intent of the previous term. So that would be, if somebody can touch on it tonight, great. If not, if we can get that information for next time, just how these two bills, how the previous legislation and this would play together, that would be great.
All right. So Councilor Murphy, I think we can get it for the next time. We don't have it tonight. If that's okay, we'll get it to you before, and to all council members before the next meeting.
I think that would be great. I mean, I have no problem moving this forward tonight or things like that, but I do think if there is some sort of conflict in what we had kind of planned out before, that maybe that's something that Council Lady Allen and I can massage and work out together.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Murphy. Councilmember Glover.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'm not saying that we don't need solutions for affordable housing, but we have a debt crisis in the city that nobody really wants to talk about. And so therefore, I can't support this. I firmly believe that whenever we have extra money, as I guess it would be here in this situation, that it be used to pay down our debt and we never seem to do that. We always find a way to spend it in other areas. So I can't be supportive, not because I don't think that we don't have an issue with affordable housing in Nashville, but because we have a true debt issue in Nashville. And so I will not be supportive of this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Glover. Here's where we are. We're on BL 2021-970 by Councilmember Allen. She has moved it. It's been properly seconded. Discussion, any other discussion on the motion is to approve on second reading. We have some information to get for Councilmember Murphy. Anybody else wishing to be heard on this particular bill? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor of Bill 2021-970 on second reading say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? No. All right, so we've got one no vote. Bill passes on second reading. It'll move on to third reading. Next item is item number 42, BL 2021-971 by Councilmember O'Connell, Evans, Warren, and others. This is an ordinance to amend Title II of the Metropolitan Code of Laws to create an Office of Housing and Homelessness. Councilmember O'Connell, you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to get committee reports, please.
All right. Affordable Housing, Councilmember Parker, you're recognized.
Hannah, if you could double check your notes on this as well. I have one vote, 9 in favor, but I did not note that was, I believe, a one meeting deferral. So I believe that's what we did, and the sponsor seems to agree that we voted 9 in favor of a one meeting deferral on this one.
Yeah, 9 in favor of one meeting deferral.
That's what we've got. Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Parker. And then I've got Councilmember Welsh, Human Services.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Human Services voted to defer one meeting, 5 in favor, 0 against.
All right. Thank you. Back to you, Councilmember O'Connell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to move for a one meeting deferral with a brief comment.
All right. So the motion is to defer one meeting, properly seconded. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. On this bill, we've got it going to a joint committee meeting tomorrow to be considered there. So encourage colleagues who are interested in this approach to attend that. Then separately, the Continuum of Care and Homelessness Planning Council is actually having a special called meeting on Friday, I believe. I'll double check the calendar here, but also to meet to consider the bill. And so I wanted to get the feedback from both of those sessions as we continue to workshop it. Thanks to all the sponsors who have supported this, and we will continue the conversation in December. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilmember O'Connell. Councilmember O'Connell has moved BL 2021-971, deferral for one meeting. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on the deferral motion? Seeing none, ready to vote on the deferral motion. All in favor of the deferral motion say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. This measure is deferred one meeting. Councilmember Welsh, Councilmember O'Connell mentioned this meeting tomorrow that you are hosting with Human Services and Affordable Housing. Can you just remind council members what time it is, and it's in here? Councilmember Welsh?
The joint meeting between Affordable Housing and Human Services is tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. here in the chambers, and Judith Tackett will be our guest.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Welsh. All right. Next bill is BL 2021-973 by Councilmember Stiles and Porterfield. It's an ordinance to amend Title 8 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws related to animals. Councilmember Stiles, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. This actually has an amendment by Councilmember Benedict, so I was wondering if we could get the amendment on it, and then I would actually like to defer it for one meeting.
All right, so we're going to get a committee report in first from Public Health. Does anybody, Councilmember Evans has stepped out of the room. Does anybody know what Public Health did on this particular bill?
They did vote to.
Councilmember Benedict, I'm recognizing you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. In committee, they added the amendment unanimously and then deferred the bill per the sponsor.
Okay, so the amendment came on and then deferred the bill. Okay, thank you, Councilmember Benedict. Councilmember Stiles, you're recognized on your bill now.
Vice Mayor, may I allow Councilmember Benedict to talk about the amendment? Do I need to?
So, Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized on your amendment.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move the amendment.
All right. Councilmember Benedict has moved a timely filed amendment, properly seconded. Back to you for an explanation of the amendment.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So this amendment just adds that the bill, and this is a friendly amendment that the sponsor was open to, and this amendment just clarifies that a vicious dog that would be impacted by this bill would not be one within a fence or an invisible fence.
All right, so you've heard an explanation of the amendment. Again, it was moved and seconded. Councilmember Murphy on the amendment.
It's on the amendment and just clarification in general. I had an advocacy group that I spoke to today, and we wanted to just clarify. It seems very clear in the legislation, but clarify that nowhere else in the code, and there's no intent here to list out breeds that are considered vicious one way or another. And so if I could just get confirmation from the sponsors, that would put my mind at ease and put some of our shelter friends and advocates at ease as well.
Councilmember Benedict, this is on the amendment, correct?
It's on the amendment, but I would love for both sponsors to weigh in that there's no intent to discriminate upon breed.
Okay, Councilmember Benedict.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I appreciate the question, and that is absolutely not the intent in no way, shape, or form.
All right, Councilmember Stiles, I'm going to ask you the same question since it's going to come to you eventually. Councilmember Stiles, on the question.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. That is correct. There are no boundaries for breeds. It covers every breed of dog.
All right, Councilmember Murphy, anything else? Okay, good to go. So we are on an amendment proposed by Councilmember Benedict for passage. It's been properly seconded. Any other discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, we're ready to vote on the amendment of Councilmember Benedict. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The amendment passes. We are now on, Councilmember Stiles, we're on your BL 2021-973 as amended. You're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for deferral for one meeting with a brief comment.
Okay, got a motion to defer one meeting, properly seconded. Back to you.
Thank you very much. So the function of this bill clarifies the definition of a vicious dog in terms of menacing behavior, charging at individuals, also biting but not puncturing the skin. The way the code is written now, it's very vague. This also limits the amount of visits that animal control officers will do to a particular home. Right now, they can do as many visits as they feel like doing. This makes it so they can only go 3 times. After the 3rd visit, if they're unable to reach that resident, they send the citation via certified mail. Also, in terms of removing an animal from a property, this covers the 4th Amendment concern that had been mentioned, so that an animal control officer or the director of animal control can go to environmental court and show that there's an animal that needs to be taken, and it can be held at the shelter until the case is heard, and then a decision can be made. So that is not clear currently.
All right, so Councilmember Stiles, the motion is to defer one meeting, okay? So BL 2021-973 has been amended, but Councilmember Stiles' motion is to defer one meeting, the bill as amended. Again, properly seconded. Any questions on the deferral motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the deferral motion say aye. Opposed, no. This bill, as amended, is deferred one meeting. Thank you, Councilmember Stiles. All right, so that, I think, concludes everything on second reading. Yes. Okay, we are now on bills on third reading. We're on page 17 of a 40-page calendar. There are a bunch of bills on third reading consent. So pay very close attention, all right? So let's go. Here we go. These are bills on the third reading consent calendar. Item number 55, BL 2021-797 is on consent. Item number 57, BL 2021-843 on consent. BL 2021-903, that is item number 60, is on consent. BL 2021-904 is on consent. 905 is on consent. That's item number 62. Item number 63, BL 2021-906 is on consent. Item number 64, BL 2021-923 is on consent. BL 2021-933 is on consent. That's item number 69. Item number 70, BL 2021-934 is on consent. 935 is on consent. 936 is on consent. 937 is on consent. 938 is on consent. 939 is on consent. 940 is on consent. 943 is on consent. 944 is on consent. 948 is on consent. 949 is on consent. 950 is on consent. 951 is on consent. 953 is on consent. 957 is on consent. 958 on consent. 960 on consent. 962 is on consent. 963 is on consent. 964 is on consent. 965 is on consent. 966 is on consent. 967 is on consent. 968 is on consent. And 969 is on consent. Anything needs to be bumped off that calendar? Anything needs to be bumped off? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, people watching, I'm going to be reading for the next 2 or 3 hours. Reading some very interesting captions of bills. Now is probably a good time to get some hot chocolate and just sit around the fire and listen to me read very interesting pieces of information. All right, here we go. First bill up is BL 2021-797. That's item number 55 on the calendar. Councilmember Withers is the sponsor. An ordinance amending section 17.12.070 of the Metropolitan Code to amend the requirements of the residential floor area ratio bonus in mixed use. Next item is BL 2021-843 by Councilmembers Roberts, Porterfield, Stiles, and Bradford. Ordinance to amend section 17.36.110, 17.36.120, and 17.40.550 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws relative to historic signage. The next item is BL 2021-903 by Councilmember Murphy. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by amending the Bowling House Neighborhood Conservation Overlay District to include properties located at 131 and 133 44th Avenue North, 4200 through 4411 Nebraska Avenue, and 4303 through 4412 Utah Avenue, zoned RS 7.5 to 11.12 acres. BL 2021-904 is the companion bill. Ordinance to authorize building material restriction requirements for a proposed amendment to the Bowling House Neighborhood Conservation Overlay District to include properties at 131 and 133 44th Avenue North, 4200 through 4411 Nebraska Avenue, 4303 through 4412 Utah Avenue, zone RS 7.5. The proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Item number 62, BL 2021-905 by Councilmember Evans. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from AR2A to RS20 zoning for property located at 3216 Earhart Road, eastern terminus of Buntington Way Drive, is 2.93 acres. BL 2021-906, number 63, Rosenberg and Bradford. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by change from AR2A to R80 zoning for property located at 7848 McCrory Lane, approximately 385 feet south of Highway 70. It's 42.24 acres. That is item number 63. Item number 64 by Councilmember O'Connell. BL 2021-923, an ordinance to amend Title 17 to update the Gulch South Subdistrict standards within Chapter 17.37 Downtown Code. Next item is, item number 69, BL 2021-933 by Councilmember Syracuse. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by change from R10 to SP zoning. Property located at 2850 Lebanon Pike, northwest corner of Lebanon Pike and Stewart's Ferry Pike, located within the downtown Donaldson Urban Design Overlay District. 5.32 acres to rent 68 multifamily residential units. BL 2021-934 by Councilmember Syracuse. Ordinance to authorize building material restrictions for a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 2850 Lebanon Pike, northwest corner of Lebanon Pike and Stewart's Ferry Pike, 5.32 acres. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. BL 2021-935 by Councilmember Toombs. That's item number 71, an ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS 7.5 to SP zoning for properties located at 839 West Trinity Lane and West Trinity Lane unnumbered, approximately 320 feet north of West Trinity Lane, 9.5 acres, to permit 81 multifamily residential units. Item number 72, this is the companion bill, BL 2021-936. Ordinance to authorize building material restriction requirements for BL 2021-935 for a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 839 West Trinity Lane unnumbered, approximately 320 feet north of West Trinity Lane. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Bill 2021-937 by Councilmember Taylor. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from CS and RS5 to SP zoning for properties located at 2100, 2105, 2107 Buchanan Street on either side of Buchanan Street, approximately 85 feet west of Clarksville Pike, 1.12 acres to permit a mixed-use development. And the companion bill, BL 2021-938, by Councilmember Taylor, an ordinance to authorize building material restriction requirements of proposed specific plan zoning district located at 2100, 2105, 2107 Buchanan Street, either side of Buchanan Street, and approximately 85 feet west of Clarksville Pike, 1.12 acres. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Bill 2021-939 by Councilmember Syracuse. Ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code by changing CS and R10 to SP zoning. Properties located at 2826, 2830, 2832A, 2836, 2842 Lebanon Pike, approximately 600 feet east of Donaldson Pike, located within the downtown Donaldson Urban Design Overlay District. It's 8.3 acres, permit 108 multifamily residential units. BL 2021-940 by Councilmember Syracuse. Ordinance to propose building material restriction requirements. Proposed specific plan zoning district located at 2826, 2830, 2832A, 2836, and 2842 Lebanon Pike, 600 feet east of Donaldson Pike. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. The next one is BL 2021-943 by Councilmember Taylor. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by change from CS and MUGA to SP zoning for properties located at 2410, 2412, 2416 Weston Avenue, 2413 Elson Place at the northeast corner of Weston Avenue and 25th Avenue South. It's 0.87 acres. Next item is item number 78, BL 2021-944 by Councilmember Gamble. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS20 and R10 and RS40 and RS80 zoning for various properties located along Brick Church Lane and Knight Drive from Interstate 24 west towards Whites Creek Pike. Let me read that again because it's changing from RS20 and R10 to RS40 and RS80 zoning. That's by Councilmember Gamble. It's BL 2021-944. Item number 80, BL 2021-948 by Councilmember O'Connell. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from IWD to SP zoning for properties located at 920 and 1000 Hawkins Street, northeast corner of 12th Avenue South, and Hawkins Street at 6.79 acres, permit a mixed-use development. BL 2021-949 by Councilmember O'Connell. This is the companion bill. This is to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for proposed specific plan zoning district located at 920 and 1000 Hawkins Street, northeast corner of 12th Avenue South, and Hawkins Street at 6.79 acres. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Item number 82, BL 2021-950 by Councilmember Taylor. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by change from CF to MUIA zoning. Properties located in 1904, 1906, 1908, 1910, 1912, and 1912B and 1916 Hay Street, approximately 100 feet west of 19th Avenue North is 1.04 acres. Item number 83, BL 2021-951 by Councilmember Roten. Ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing RS10 to SP zoning for property located at 3754 Central Pike, approximately 370 feet south of Dotson Chapel Lane. It's 5.24 acres, permit a mixed-use development. BL 2021-953, that's item number 84. Councilmember Taylor, ordinance to amend Title 17 by applying a detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district to various properties located south of Clay Street and Lacey Street, north of Scoville Street, east of 26th Avenue North, west of Interstate 65, Zone R6, R6A, and RS5. It's 295.27 acres. Item number 87, BL 2021-957 by Councilmember Toombs. An ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS5 to R6 zoning for property located 426 Weekly Avenue at the northeast corner of Katy Avenue and Weekly Avenue. It's 0.29 acres. Councilmember Taylor, BL 2021-958, ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from CS to MULA zoning for property located at 626 40th Avenue North, southeast corner of Clifton Avenue and 40th Avenue North. It's 0.18 acres. Item number 89, BL 2021-960 by Councilmember Lee, ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS10 to SP zoning for property located at Hobson Pike, unnumbered approximately 115 feet southwest, of Windcrest Trail. It's 4 acres. Item number 90, BL 2021-962 by Parker Allen and Withers. Ordinance approving and authorizing the Director of Public Property Administration to accept a donation of 14 square feet of real property located at the property line between 914 East Trinity Lane and 936 East Trinity Lane. That's by Parker Allen and Withers. Item number 91, BL 2021-963, Councilmember O'Connell, Allen, Withers, and others. Ordinance accepting a Greenway Conservation easement, approving a Greenway Participation Agreement and Declaration, both in connection with improvements to the Bicentennial Mall Greenway Connector. BL 2021-964 by Sledge, Withers, and others. Ordinance declaring certain planned roads on the Nashville Fairgrounds campus to be public rights-of-way. Item number 93, BL 2021-965, Toombs, Withers, and Young. Ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government to abandon existing sanitary sewer mains, sewer manholes, and easements, and to accept new sanitary sewer water mains, sanitary sewer manholes, fire hydrants, and easements for 3 properties located at 1104, 1106 Baptist Rural Center Drive and 1407 Napoleon Street. BL 2021-966, that's item number 94. Withers, Young, and Lee, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government to accept a new public water, sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assembly, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements, property located at 7211 Carruthers Road, also known as Carruthers Crossing, Phase 10, Section 1A. BL 2021-967 by Councilmember Lee, Withers, and Young. Ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government to accept new water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assembly, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 7211 Carruthers Road, also known as Carruthers Crossing, Phase 10, Section 1B. BL 2021-968, that's item number 96, Sledge, Withers, and Young. Ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government to accept new sanitary sewer main and sanitary sewer manhole for property located at 101 Factory Street. And item number 97, BL 2021-969 by Councilmember Withers. An ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government to abandon existing sanitary main, sewer manholes, and a portion of easement rights for property located at 405 South 4th Street, formerly alley number 305, also known as the Shelby House Apartments. That's it. Thank you. Yes. Councilmember Druffel, I'd like for you to explain what I just said. All right. Let's let somebody else do some talking here. I got 2 committee reports coming. Government Operations and Regulations. Councilmember Hancock, you're recognized. These are bills on 3rd reading consent.
So on BL 2021-843 and 923, we voted 9 in favor, 0 against.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Hancock. Councilmember Withers, you got the rest of them. Oh, sorry. Councilmember Rutherford, I am so sorry that I can't believe that Councilmember Withers did this to you. You're recognized.
I can't believe he did it to me either, but here we are. Bear with me, but Planning and Zoning considered 797, 843, 903, 904, 905, 906, 923, 933, 934, 935, 936, 937, 938, 939, 940, 943, 944, 948, 949, 950, 951, 953, 957, 958, and 960. Voting 8 in favor and 0 against to all.
Councilmember Rutherford, you remind me of a former director of the council who could do that without stopping. So congratulations. Councilmember Rutherford, if you would, can you give me a motion to approve the third reading consent calendar?
Motion to approve the third reading consent calendar.
All right, so I got a motion to approve the third reading consent calendar, properly seconded. Councilmember Porterfield, you're recognized.
Pardon me, Vice Mayor, I missed it. Agenda item number 53, BL 2021-766, that is not on consent. Is that correct?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I
Thank
think
you.
I remember that one. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, just to be clear, Councilmember Porterfield had asked about item number 53. It is the first bill on bills on third reading. The only reason I'm bringing this up is that on your calendar there are two 53s. Okay, so she's talking about the first one, all right? So Councilmember Porterfield, that is not on the consent calendar.
Thank you, Vice
Neither
Mayor.
is the other one. Item number 58. Okay, so we are on Councilmember Rutherford's motion to approve the third reading consent calendar. Any other questions or objections? Properly seconded. We're on Councilmember Rutherford's motion to approve. All those in favor of bills on third reading consent say aye. Opposed, no. Bills on third reading consent pass. All right, so we're now going to go through the bills that are still remaining on third reading consent. Excuse me, not on third reading consent, on the agenda. The first one is item number 53, the first one, Bill 2021-766. Councilmember Porterfield is the sponsor, an ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from AR 2A to SP zoning on property located at 3156 Anderson Road, permit 22 multifamily residential units. Councilmember Porterfield, you are recognized on your bill, and there's an item 58, which is your companion bill. I think we can take these together if you want. Bill 2021-886 by Councilmember Porterfield. Again, item number 58, BL 2021-886, ordinance to authorize building material restriction requirements for BL 2021-766, proposed specific plan zoning district located at 3156 Anderson Road. Proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. You are on BL 2021-766 and 886. Councilmember Porterfield.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move for a one-meeting deferral, please.
Okay, on both bills?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Councilmember Porterfield has moved both 766 and 886 for a one-meeting deferral, properly seconded. Any discussion on the deferral motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the deferral motion for one meeting say aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
Deferral motion passes. Both of them are deferred one meeting. Okay. Okay, now we're on second item number 53. This is by Councilmember Parker, BL 2021-784, ordinance amending section 17.36.680 and 690 of the Metropolitan Code zoning regulations to expand the allowable locations of a detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district. Councilmember Parker, this is a disapproved bill. You're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd move to defer for one meeting.
Okay, so Councilmember Parker has moved to defer one meeting. Properly seconded. Motion to defer. Any discussion on the deferral motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the deferral motion in one meeting say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion to defer passes one meeting. Councilmember Parker, item number 54, BL 2021-791, ordinance to amend Title 17 by applying a detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district to various properties located south of East Trinity Lane, north of Douglas Avenue, east of Dickerson Pike, and west of Lishee Avenue. So in RS5, R6A, and RM15A, it's 109.45 acres. Councilmember Parker, you recognized on your bill. This one was also disapproved.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move a deferral of one meeting.
Okay, so Councilmember Parker has moved to defer one meeting. It's properly seconded. Discussion on the deferral motion. All those in favor of the deferral motion say aye. Opposed, no. This one's deferred also one meeting. Okay. Next item is item number 56, BL 2021-842 by Councilmember Cash, Porterfield, Murphy, and others. Ordinance amending Chapter 16.28 and 17.7, Section 17.40.430 of the Metropolitan Code amend the regulations of the demolition of potentially historic structures and sites. Councilmember Cash, you're recognized on your bill.
Thanks. I have an amendment. Should I move it first?
You've got a couple of committee reports, it looks like.
Okay, committee reports, please.
Okay, Planning and Zoning, Councilmember Rutherford.
Yes, Planning and Zoning heard the amendment, voting 8 in favor and 0 against, and then on the bill itself, also 8 in favor and 0 against.
All right, thank you. And Government Operations, Councilmember Hancock.
Very similar report. We voted 8 in favor, 0 against on the amendment, and 8 in favor, 0 against as amended.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Hancock. Councilmember Cash, you're now recognized.
Thanks. I'd like to move the amendment with a brief explanation.
All right, so Councilmember Cash has moved an amendment. I believe this bill's been substituted. So it's an amendment to the substitute.
Correct.
Properly seconded. Back to you for an explanation of the amendment.
All right, so the amendment does two things. Number one, in the section where it requires contractors or applicants to give affidavits saying that they have communicated with subcontractors about the scope of the work, especially as it relates to demolition, it changes the properties that applies to those in adopted overlays rather than the broader National Historic Register eligible properties. And the second thing it does is the current code it refers to the Director of Codes using a masculine pronoun, which at the moment is true, but it makes it the non-specific there. So I'd like to move the amendment.
All right. So Councilmember Cash has explained the amendment. He's moved it. It's been properly seconded. Questions on the amendment? Seeing none, we are ready to vote. Councilmember Cash has moved it. This is the amendment to the substitute. All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Amendment is adopted. Councilmember Cash, you're on BL 2021-842 as substituted as amended.
All right, I'd like to move the bill.
All right, Councilmember Cash has moved the bill. Again, we just put the amendment on it, which has been substituted. Properly seconded. Discussion on the bill. Seeing none, we're ready to vote. This is on third reading. All those in favor of BL 2021-842 as substituted, which also has an amendment on it now. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Bill is passed on third reading. Thank you, Councilmember Cash.
Thank you.
The next item is item number 59. It's BL 2021-893. It's by Councilmember Parker. It's an ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS5 to RM20A zoning for property located at 123 Elmhurst Avenue, northwest corner of Lucille Street and Elmhurst Avenue. It's 0.13 acres. Councilmember Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Planning and Zoning, Councilmember Rutherford. We're on 893.
Yes, on 893, Planning and Zoning voted 8 in favor and 0 against on the substitute, and then 8 in favor and 0 against on the bill as substituted.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Rutherford. Councilmember Parker.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move the substitute, please.
Okay, so Councilmember Parker has moved the substitute on BL 2021-893. Properly seconded. Back to you for an explanation of the substitute.
The substitute just adds the -NS designation to the RM20-A, which was approved by planning. This is still a residential area, and sort of in consultation with the neighbors that are over there, they prefer this to be the multifamily zoning that we use in that area.
Okay.
So with that, I'd renew my motion to approve the substitute.
Okay, so you've heard the explanation of the substitute. It's been properly moved, properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion to approve the substitute? Seeing none, all those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
Let me try that again. All those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Substitute's adopted. Councilmember Parker, you're on your bill as substituted.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd move the bill for approval.
Councilmember Parker is now moving Bill 2021-893 as substituted for passage on third and final reading. Properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. BL 2021-893 as substituted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Bill is adopted on third reading. Thank you, Councilmember Parker. We're on item number 65, BL 2021-929 by Councilmember Toombs. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code by changing from R8 to SP zoning for properties located at 334 and 336 Ewing Drive, approximately 560 feet west of Richmond Hill Drive. It's 11.81 acres to permit 180 multifamily residential units. And then BL 2021-930, we can take those together. An ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-929, proposed specific plan zoning district located at 334 and 336 Ewing Drive, approximately 560 feet west of Richmond Hill Drive. It's 11.81 acres. The proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Councilmember Toombs, you are recognized on both those bills. Sorry. There.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Committee report.
Planning and zoning, Councilmember Rutherford.
Mr. President, on both of these bills, Planning and Zoning voted 8-0 to defer 2 meetings.
Okay. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized on these 2 bills.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Move to defer 2 meetings.
Okay. Motion is to defer 2 meetings on both 929 and 930. Properly seconded. Any discussion on the deferral motion? This is 2 meetings. We're on BL 2021-929 and 930. Motion to defer 2 meetings. All those in favor of the deferral motion say aye. Opposed, no. Both these bills are deferred. 2 meeting motion passes. We're on item number 67, BL 2021-931 by Councilmember Taylor, and it's got a companion bill 932. We can take these together. I think they're going to both have a substitute on them. Ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code. This is 931 by changing from IR and OR 20 to SP zoning on properties located at 704 41st Avenue North, 4105 Clifton Avenue, and Clifton Avenue unnumbered, 4018 Indiana Avenue, 4020 Indiana Avenue, approximately 475 feet west of 40th Avenue North. It's 5.11 acres, permit 112 multifamily residential units. And 932, that's the ordinance to authorize building material restrictions requirements for BL 2021-931, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 704 41st Avenue North, 4105 Clifton Avenue, and Clifton Avenue unnumbered, 4018 Indiana Avenue, 4020 Indiana Avenue, approximately 475 feet west of 40th Avenue North, 5.11 acres. The proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Councilmember Taylor, you're recognized on those 2 measures.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Is it possible to add the substitute is a clerical error? Is it possible to add both substitutes at once? No.
Do them separately. Okay. So we're going to do them separately just to be on the safe side. So let's do 931 first.
Perfect. So committee reports, please.
All right. So Councilmember Rutherford, you're recognized on both. Well, let's do 931 first, and then we'll come back.
Thank you, Mr. President. On 931, Planning and Zoning voted 8 in favor and 0 against on the substitute, and 8 in favor, 0 against on the bill as substitute.
Okay. Councilmember Taylor, on BL 2021-931, you're on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. This bill, it's a substitute. It's a clerical error. The address is 704. It needs to be 701.
All right. So Councilmember Taylor has explained what the substitute does. You moved the substitute. Councilmember Taylor has moved the substitute, properly seconded. Discussion on the substitute. Seeing none, all in favor of the substitute say aye. Opposed, no. Substitutes adopted. You're on BL 2021-931 now as substituted.
Thank you. I would like to move for approval BL 2021-931 as substituted.
Okay. Councilmember Taylor has moved the bill now as substituted. It's been properly seconded for passage on 3rd and final reading. Any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. BL 2021-931 as substituted. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. That bill is passed on 3rd reading. We're on item number 68. That's the companion bill. I've already read the caption. Councilmember Taylor, you're on BL 2021-932. We need another committee report.
Thank you. Committee reports, please.
Yeah. Councilmember Rutherford, you're recognized on 932.
Mr. President, on 932, Planning and Zoning voted 8 in favor, 0 against on the substitute, and 8 in favor, 0 against on the bill as substituted.
All right. Councilmember Taylor, you're on BL 2021-932.
Thank you. So I would like to move the substitute.
All right, so Councilmember Taylor has moved the substitute on 932, properly seconded. Back to you for an explanation. Just a brief
Yes,
explanation.
it's
of what
same
the bill
thing,
does.
704, 701.
Okay, got it. So you've heard an explanation of the substitute. Any questions about the substitute? All those in favor of the substitute say aye. Opposed, no. Substitute's adopted. You're on your bill now as substituted.
Thank you.
You're
I
on
would like to
932.
Thank you. I'd like to move 932 as substituted.
All right, so Councilmember Taylor has moved BL 2021-932 as substituted, properly seconded. Discussion on the bill. Okay. All those in favor of BL 2021-932 as substituted say aye. Opposed, no. BL 2021-932 as substituted is passed on third reading. All right, let's make sure we're not, I've got another one coming up. Item number 79, BL 2021-945 by Councilmember Toombs. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 by changing from RS 7.5 to RM9 NS zoning for properties located at Monticello Drive, unnumbered, approximately 100 feet east of Woodridge Drive. It's 7.93 acres. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Committee report.
Councilmember Rutherford on 945.
Mr. President, on 945, Planning and Zoning voted 8-0 for a one-meeting deferral.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Rutherford. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you. Move for a one-meeting deferral.
All right, Councilmember Toombs has moved for a one-meeting deferral, properly seconded. Any questions on the deferral motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the deferral motion say aye. Opposed, no. This bill is deferred one meeting. The next item I think I've got is item number 85. It's BL 2021-955 by Councilmember Rosenberg. It's an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code by changing from RS 40 to SP zoning for property located at 7959 Poplar Creek Road. It's approximately 135 feet west of Willow Oak Drive. It's 9.98 acres. Councilmember Rosenberg, you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Committee report, please.
Planning and Zoning, Councilmember Rutherford, you're recognized.
Mr. President, on 955, Planning and Zoning took up the amendment, voting 8 in favor and 0 against, and 8 in favor and 0 against on the bill as amended.
All right, Councilmember Rosenberg, you have a companion bill 86, but let's take care of this one, and then maybe we can bring the ones together. You are recognized on BL 2021-955.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's an amendment that adds a preliminary site plan and makes a technical correction. I'd like to move the amendment, please.
All right, so Councilmember Rosenberg has explained the amendment and moved it, properly seconded. Any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, we're on Councilmember Rosenberg's amendment to 955. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The amendment's on. Councilmember Rosenberg, you're now on BL 2021-955 as amended. And we can take 86, which is the companion bill. It's BL 2021-956. That's an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-955. Proposed specific plan zoning district located at 7959 Poplar Creek Road, approximately 135 feet west of Willow Oak Drive. It's 9.98 acres. The proposed ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Councilmember Rosenberg, let's get a committee report on that one, 956. Councilmember Rutherford on 956.
Mr. President, on 956, Planning and Zoning voted 8 in favor, 0 against.
All right. Okay, so Councilmember Rosenberg, you are now recognized on BL 2021-955 as amended and BL 2021-956.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank Councilmember Hurt for her voice on this. This is right next to her neighborhood, and she was a great advocate for her neighbors and making sure that we ended up with a great project, and we did. So I'd like to move approval.
All right, so Councilmember Rosenberg has moved approval of BL 2021-955 as amended and BL 2021-956. This is for passage on third reading. Properly seconded. Discussion on either of the two bills. Seeing none, all those in favor of 955 as amended and 956 for passage on third reading, say aye. Opposed, no. Both those bills pass. Am I missing anything? I believe that is it. Do we have any word on Councilmember Hurt's daughter? Councilmember Porterfield, you're recognized.
Councilwoman Hurt is now officially a grandmother. Everlease Ale is here, coming in at 8 pounds and 13 ounces.
Anybody else wish to be recognized? Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Very quickly, we have already scheduled a meeting on, I believe, Monday, November 29th for the Health Committee and Budget Committee to hear from the Health Department on what the process will be to ending the emissions testing. So it's the info session. This is the reason we did the deferral, so we can find out, just so we know what we're voting on. So I encourage anyone who can to come to that meeting, 5 o'clock on November 29th.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Allen. Anything else? All right, I got a motion to adjourn, properly seconded. All those in favor of the adjournment motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
And so the council has concluded about a 2-hour and 15-minute meeting tonight. One of the shorter meetings of this session of the council. Had a 39-page long agenda, including 97 pieces of legislation. The council in a number of areas tonight deferred the controversial legislation that might have been before it. One of them was Resolution 2021-1204, would appropriate $1.9 million in federal American Rescue funds to the Metro Parks to manage the homeless encampments in town, including more specifically the renovation and repair of Brookmead Park in West Nashville, which has been quite a bit of controversy. The bill is being deferred until January the 4th. The idea being, at least from the sponsors, this will give more time for the private companies that run the inspection programs. This has been going on for, this will give people more time to find out what's going on with all these things. They did add one amendment to this bill that basically says that the equipment is being bought by this, which includes surveillance cameras, fencing, and a bulldozer, won't be used to remove any of the residents at Brookmead Park or any place else in one of these homeless facilities. In fact, it wouldn't be used until after they had found a way to get all those people into homes. But the council members were not completely convinced that that was going to be the case. They didn't like the way this bill was drafted at all. So it would not be at all surprised with the bill being deferred that is not going to be redrawn before it comes back in. They particularly don't like the caption of the bill. And usually that's not what people object to about that. But at this point, the council has deferred that for tonight and will be coming up again in a future meeting. COVID-19 is not gone. Under the resolution 2021-1233, the council accepted a $50,000 grant tonight from the state to help the Davidson County Juvenile Court purchase personal protective equipment to minimize exposure to hazards in the workplace. And also, as another resolution, accepted a nearly $14 million grant from the U.S. Department of the Treasury for the Metro Action Commission to provide emergency rental assistance under the American Rescue Act. Council also deferred action tonight on a bill that would have ended the almost 4 decades long yearly emission auto testing program required for cars and drivers in Davidson County. It's in several other counties across the state as well, although the one in Metro had been going on longer. EPA now says that the state and Metro meet clean air standards, and therefore all the other counties have opted out. Metro Council declined to do that in 2018, but now with 27 co-sponsors, they think that's a good idea. We should end the program. The deferral was made again until the January 4th meeting. The idea being that will give time for the people who operate these, the private operators who operate this inspection program, to figure out what they want to do, particularly with their employees, and how they can sort of do that separation as easily as possible. There were some council members who are concerned about what the health department wants to do about this, some concerns perhaps that there might still be an effort to change the future inspection or the clean air standards, and therefore put the city back in a situation of having to redo the program again. So this will have a meeting about that coming up, I think, between a couple of the council committees next week to find out exactly what's going on. The council deferral on that was, I think, 18 to 11, so that's not a full majority of the council, although there were a number of people here who are not here tonight before the council. So we'll wait and see if there's any more debate or discussion or controversy about this when it comes up again in January. On another environmentally related issue, the council approved a resolution asking the city's water services department to better promote and incentivize recycling with the goal of increasing recycling in Nashville by 25% within the next 2 years. That was a moralizing resolution. Doesn't have any force of law, it's just a request at this point. Another resolution, the council approved a national settlement resolving years of litigation involving the opioid epidemic. There'll be several large pharmaceutical distributors and the manufacturers, including Johnson & Johnson, to pay us billions of dollars in a settlement over the next several years. Tennessee could eligible to receive more than $613 million over the next 18 years. The vast majority of those funds would be used to future opioid abatement and remediation programs benefiting all regions of the state. Additionally, up to $92 million we paid directly to Tennessee counties and cities. Those funds, if the entire settlement is approved, and that's still to be determined, those funds could begin to flow as early as April of 2022. There was also some concerns by some council members, as expressed during committee, that there was a partnership being entered into in the state under resolution tonight that would have moved forward on an East Bank project to build a new north-south boulevard on the East Bank between Spring and Woodland Streets, but they didn't have a lot of details about that particular road. It also appears to have a $50 million commitment to the mayor's pending capital plan. It's also before the council, but not until December 7th at the next meeting. They wanted some more information about that, but apparently this resolution tonight was only to set up the partnership, did not have anything to do with any right-of-way acquisition or anything like that. So it actually was approved in the council tonight in a consent calendar, so went through without any discussion, just a simple unanimous vote. Council also considered memorializing resolutions they passed to honor the 100th anniversary of the Fairfield Four, along with the legacy of the McCary sisters. Council also sought to broad awareness to human trafficking in Tennessee and encourage the hospitality industry in Nashville to post signage and attend workshops concerning human trafficking. Other resolutions marked November 20th as Transgender Day of Remembrance in Nashville and December 1st as World AIDS Day. Council also recognized the Clara Mohammed School of Nashville on its 50th anniversary. Among the first 10 readings, among the 10 bills that were on first reading tonight, Council had two before it concerning the downtown transportation vehicles. One would limit where these vehicles can operate in a downtown area only. That was put in by Councilmember at Large Steve Glover, and that was objected to by the downtown district councilman Freddie O'Connell. So under the council rules, O'Connell has the right to basically bump that bill off first reading for at least one meeting, and that's what he did tonight. Councilman Glover did not object to that, but he did tell me afterwards he doesn't think the rule is fair. He may be seeking to change that rule in the future. The other bill would set up a permit system that did pass. This one did pass on first reading. It would set up a permit system to serve or bring your own beer on vehicles. Right now, the law that was passed by the council a couple of weeks ago, you might recall, banned any alcohol on unenclosed tourist vehicles downtown beginning on December 1st. The owners are already claiming they're losing business because of this new law. The bill seeks to address that issue, although final approval by the council, if it goes through on the next two readings, likely wouldn't come to at least the middle of next month. So there will be a period of a few weeks for these downtown vehicles in which alcohol will not be available. Council also passed on first reading a bill that would name the Courthouse Steps and Plaza in honor of Nashville civil rights icon Diane Nash. Also on second reading, they created a bill that would, at least they deferred a bill at this point, that would set up a new freestanding city department to coordinate the city's various efforts to address homelessness and affordable housing. There's already been a substitute bill drafted about that, so they're going to have some additional meetings about the substitute bill before they move forward. Council also approved on second reading a bill that would take the funds raised from the city's sale of delinquent tax properties to the city's bonds fund for affordable housing. Another ordinance that would seek to fund efforts to protect and grow the city's tree canopy, which remains under pressure as Nashville continues its rapid growth, is also approved on the consent calendar tonight on second reading. Finally, on third reading, the council deferred action on a bill that has objections from the Planning Commission. The bill would expand the area in the Highland Heights area neighborhoods and other areas where to allow the use of what is called detached accessory dwelling units, or DADUs. Approval was going to take 27 votes to get that approved tonight because the Planning Commission had disapproved it. Probably was disapproved tonight because the council member at this point has not sure he has the 27 votes he needed to do that. Finally, the council approved a bill tonight on third reading that would fix an access problem to the downtown Greenway, which has kept it closed for some time because it ran through the Nashville Sounds baseball park, and it's not always open to the public, particularly when there's not a ball game going on there. Council is now in recess for the next 3 weeks. We'll meet again on the first Tuesday in December. That'll be on December 7th. We wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving period. And until then, until December 7th, I'm Pat Nolan, and good night from the council chambers. Tonight's Metro Council meeting has been a public affairs presentation of the Metro Nashville Network.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.